Don't you know that you're a grown-up? No games, no blunts. Not allowed if you're a grown-up.
Hey, welcome to GenXGrownUp. I'm George, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thanks for clicking on the video. You guys might have guessed that here at GenXGrownUp, we love our tech toys. When you were younger, a young Gen Xer, you couldn't buy stuff for yourself. You had to ask mom or dad for the money. Can I have $2 for this or $5 for that? It's wonderful now to be a Gen X grown-up living in the technology that we live in today. We live and breathe this stuff. You might have noticed that John did a wonderful video talking about some of the intangibles when it comes to making videos. Everybody knows you need to have a good camera for a video, but some of the things that people don't think about are things like lighting and audio. The one that he was highlighting in that review was the Blue Yeti. They are one of the best prosumer microphones out there. I will stand behind this microphone until my last recording. I think it's a great device. There is one slight drawback to the Blue Yeti, and that's its size. This is a big microphone. If you saw in John's unboxing part of that video, when he took it out of that case, one of the things he said was this has some real heft to it, and that is absolutely true. Because it's such a quality built device and because it's so heavy, it makes one aspect of one of the things that I like to do at GenXGrownUp very difficult, and that's traveling. Anywhere that I can save a little bit of weight, a little bit of space, I'm all for it, as long as I can keep a certain level of quality when it comes to the finished product. There is a portable device that provides almost the same quality of sound, and that is the Zoom H1 microphone. So you notice right away the box for the Zoom H1 microphone is smaller than the Yeti itself. This little device has been an absolute lifesaver for me. And the quality of this thing is very, very close to the Blue Yeti. I'm not going to say it's as good as the Blue Yeti. It's not quite that same level because it does lack some of the features that the Blue Yeti has. But when you're talking about portability, there is no question which one the winner is. Let's talk a little bit about the features of the Zoom H1 microphone. So first off, you notice that it's extremely small and portable. That's a given. That's the entire reason why we purchased it. One of the other things that I find really nice about the Zoom H1, all the buttons are physical buttons. Rather than having to use a small little LCD touchscreen that some other devices out there use, I've seen some reviews that have said that it feels cheap, and maybe it feels cheap compared to a professional microphone, but for me, for the price that I got this at, $99, it does not feel cheap. This feels like a solid piece of technology, and that's what I wanted. So the first off, you're going to notice a nice big red record button right here. This device actually records directly to a micro SD. It can take up to a 32 gig micro SD. It comes with a 2 gigabyte micro SD. Depending upon the setting, whether you record in one of its two formats, which is either WAV or MP3, it can record 3 hours on the 2 gigabyte drive that it comes with, or if you switch it over to MP3, which is a lower quality, it can actually record up to 32 hours. Right here, you have a little micro USB plug that you can use for power to plug into an outlet, but if you don't want to use that, it's okay. Comes with a battery port. Single AA battery will power this thing forever. I've used this thing for at least 5 or 10 hours so far, and it hasn't even dropped one little bar on the battery icon. It does have a nice LCD screen up here. When we turn this on, which I'll do right now, you can see right away that you've got microphone levels on both the stereo side, the left and the right. You've got your record time here. You've got your different batteries and all that stuff. You turn it on and you're ready to go. I love this thing. So right here we have an input for an auxiliary microphone. It also has input levels. This is so that you can turn your physical gain up or down. The same type of setting that you have on the Blue Yeti, you actually have on this little device. We've also got your standard right here, your fast forward, play, and rewind. The play button doubles. When you're in record mode, it actually becomes a mark button. So if you need to place a marker somewhere in your recording, you press that little button and it'll set a marker there, and then you can skip ahead directly to that point in the recording. We have a delete button. Self-explanatory. You can delete different files. Every time you start and stop the recording, it creates a new file. It will only record in 2 gigabyte file sizes, and then it will, when it reaches that 2 GB limit, it will start a new file of that same recording. The last 2 buttons down here, it's actually a little swing kind of spring-loaded button. When you pull it to this direction, it actually powers the device on. When you pull it back toward the word that says hold, it'll actually disable all the buttons on the device. So you can press record, pull it back to hold, and then you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting a button that might turn it on or off or switch your bit rate around or the format for recording or anything like that. We've got the little USB power slot here. It's not just for power though. This is actually an easy way to get your recordings off of your device straight onto your computer. Here's the slot for the micro SD. Pop this little flap open. Inside is a spring-loaded micro SD card. Right here, you've got a volume. Now, this volume was a little confusing to me at first until I looked right next to it. There's an output. You plug in your headphones. You've got volume up or down so you can hear it better, or if it's too loud, you can turn it back down. There's a couple of buttons that are on the back. The first button says low cut. Low cut, it actually cuts out the wind and the ambient noise around you. It cuts those levels down so that it picks up more of just the audio that you're trying to pick up, whether it's music or somebody speaking, an interview. So then there's also auto level right here, the second switch. Auto level is exactly what it sounds like. If you turn this one on, you don't have to worry about setting your gain levels. It will try to set those gains so that it comes straight into that middle area of optimal recording thing, and it'll adjust itself on the fly. The last button on the back of the device is the recording format. You actually have 2 different recording formats. You have WAV or MP3. You'll notice I put the windscreen on it as well as the little tripod device. This all came inside the accessory pack that I was able to purchase along with it. You can go and find the Zoom H1 on Amazon, and there's one bundle that has the Zoom H1 and the accessory pack together, or you can buy them separately. But none of that stuff matters unless it can perform, right? So let's go ahead and set this device up right next to the Blue Yeti, and let's see how it does in comparison to the Yeti. So now on one side over here, I have the Blue Yeti. On the other side over here, I have the Zoom H1. I'm going to press record now. And we are now recording with the Zoom H1 directly to its micro SD card in WAV format. I have the audio levels set at about a 70 gain, which is, you know, obviously out of 100, that's about 3/4 of the way there. And I have the Blue Yeti set to probably, if you put some marks along the gain dial, which would probably be about a 3.5. I'm going to do exactly what John did. I am actually going to say something that I'm used to saying for the GenXGrownUp channel, so that way you can get a comparison of how these 2 devices perform next to each other. Welcome to GenXGrownUp. I'm George, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thanks for clicking on the video. Welcome to GenXGrownUp. I'm George, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thanks for clicking on the video. Alright, so you've seen now in the 2 different recording formats, the 2 different options. When you compare the 2 devices, the Blue Yeti and the Zoom H1 side by side, yeah, it might not quite have performed as well as the Blue Yeti, but the Blue Yeti is a quality device. The Zoom H1 still did really well. And let's not forget, the entire reason why I wanted the Zoom H1 was number 1, portability. And there is no doubt that it is very portable. You can stick this little thing in your pocket, take it with you wherever you go, and you've got a great microphone to use on the spot. All you do is take it out, hit the record button. You don't have to hook it up to anything. It's all ready to go. I would have to give the Zoom H1 3.5 tokens. It's got decent quality. It's extremely portable. The price is $99 right now on Amazon, which is right in my wheelhouse for what I'm able to spend on these devices right now. I could be a little bit happier if it performed a little bit better compared to the Blue Yeti, but with the Zoom H1, all I have to do is bring this. If I want, I can just take it apart, just a few seconds like that. This fits right in my pocket. I can leave the little windscreen on, take it off. It's a nice little device. I'm really happy with it. I picked the H1 because it was the least complicated of the different devices, and from the different reviews that I found online, it performed just as well as their newer model. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll leave links down in the description below so that you can go get your own Zoom H1 microphone. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to click subscribe and enable those notifications with that little bell icon down below. And we want to know what you think. So tell us about your experiences with the Zoom H1 if you already have one, or the Blue Yeti, or tell us if you're thinking about purchasing one or you think we're full of it. Either way, we want to hear from you, so remember to leave your comments down below. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up, and remember to share this video with your friends wherever it is that you hang out online. We'll see you guys next time.
Don't you know that you're a grown up? No games, no puns. Not a